Yes.
I would wish to advise that we and wait for. We have Kunihira. Kunihira, please mute your microphone. I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone.
Teacher Ben, we can get started. Other people will find us on the way.
Teacher, we are hearing.
Hello, Teacher Ben.
Nothing. Teacher, we are hearing nothing.
Let us
Begin.
Let us begin.
Okay. Thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone. You're most welcome to this engagement. This is primary 2 class. We are going to go through literacy. As simple as that. So I would like to share my screen straight away. If you're going to speak, make sure you raise up your hand. If you're going to speak, if you're not speaking, you don't raise. If I ask you a question, you unmute and then you speak like that so that we can move on so fast. So I would love to share my screen so that we can start straight away.
Open.
I hope everyone is able to see my screen.
That's not clear.
Hope everyone is able to see my screen. So today,
Yeah.
just as I said, this is it. Then
Tell me when it's.
Let me do it.
please let's speak on permission.
Like
Everyone needs chance. Green.
we are not seeing you. We are not seeing.
Don't mind about seeing me. Make sure you see my screen.
Yeah, so.
Be able to see my screen, and I know everyone is able to see my screen. Everyone is able to see my screen. So
Your screen. Yeah.
Nachirija and the Melos, please mute your microphones and speak when I ask you to speak. If you continue speaking, it means that we shall not move on. So let's make sure we speak when we are supposed to speak. As simple as that. So last week we looked at communication, and we said that communication is the sending and receiving of messages. So we also looked at the types of communication. maybe those who attended that engagement can remind me which types of communication we mentioned so that we can move on to the next thing. I see Lena's hand up. If you're telling me the types of communication, please go on.
Do I need a pen and a book?
Come again?
Do I need a
Lena?
pen and a book?
The pens and the books?
Do I need a pen and a book?
You
Yes.
need a pen and a book so that you can write. You need.
Okay.
Last week, we looked at the types of communication, and we say that there are basically two types of communication, that is modern communication and local communication. So we are not going to repeat that because we discussed that last week. I sent you that work and everyone was able to write. So today, we are going to look at something a little bit different, and that is transport. This is not a new word. I know most of us know what transport is. We know what transport is. But before maybe we define the word transport, I want to have one person to read for us the word, that subheading that you're seeing. I see here Martin, Naomi, Florence, Melos, Malaika, Kunihira.
Communication and transport.
Communication and transport.
That Nachirija is not speaking. Let me have faith.
Communication and transport.
Again?
Communication and transport.
Good. Communication and transport. That's simple. So what is transport?
Transport
Yes.
is the
Transport. Please raise up your hand.
transport is the movement
Faith.
Transport is the movement of places, of people
To one place to another.
from one place to another.
Correct. I want another person to repeat what Faith has said. That is Florence. Florence, can you repeat what Faith has said? When I give you a chance, at least to speak so that we move on. Nachirija, can you say something? Can you repeat what Faith has said? Or you may be having a different answer. Yes, go.
Transport is the movement of people from one place to another.
And
Yeah, your network, your internet is a little bit disturbing. It is breaking, but I got a point. The answer is correct. She said, transport is the movement of people from one place to another. Transport is the movement of people from one place to another. This is what we are talking about. Can we listen? Let's pay attention.
It says from one place to another. People with their goods.
What is around movement?
List into 4 different types. We have types of transport. Who would like to tell us these types of transport? It would be better when you raise up your hand. There is a button where you just raise your hand, then I'll give.
I want
You
to
raise
tell
up your-
them the types of transport.
Yes.
What you do?
Listen, let me give you chance to speak. Let me give this chance to Malaika because he has raised his hand. Yes, tell me one.
Transport. Water transport. Air transport.
Good.
And rail transport. Pipeline transport. Pipeline transport. Pipeline transport. Water transport. Rail transport and air transport. Road
Okay, thank you.
transport.
Please, I've heard you and everyone has heard. Malaika has been able to mention those 3 different types of transport, and we still have others, which I want other people also to give. We still have others. It is better when you raise your hand. Yes, Melos, if you have anything to say.
So the only one
Any
person.
other type of-
No, my friends are also there. Do you know them? Yes, my friend for P2. But it's where is it?
Please, Malaika, after
Now I stop
speaking,
Isaac.
unmute your microphone. You're delaying us.
Unmute. Esther, said unmute.
After you've spoken, you unmute so that we don't hear what you're discussing. So this transport, we say that there are 4 different types of transport that we can cover in primary 2.
So what do I do?
Like
Esther,
other different types
do
of
I write down
transport,
the
like
types of
pipeline,
transport?
later.
Write what's on the screen. Okay.
Please, help me to unmute people who are speaking. Please wait for instructions. If you continue like this, it means our lesson will never be successful. And I cannot compete with you to speak. At least wait for me to give you a chance. So we have the different, I said that in P2, we look at only 4 different types of transport, which you have already mentioned them. One of them this one, that is road transport. We also have the air transport. We also have the water transport. And then the other one is railway transport. So these are the different 4 types of transport. When you continue studying in primary 4, you learn the other types of transport. Like someone mentioned the pipeline transport. You will also talk about different types of transport. But in primary 2, we are basically looking at, in primary 3, there is still transport, which you will look at these very different types of transport in details in primary 3.
Primary 3, they still
what we look at here. We have road transport, air transport, water transport, and also railway transport. Even pipeline is one of them. It is one of the types of transport. So let's move on. We are going to look at the means of these different types of transport. Means of different types of transport. And we shall start with the air transport. We shall start with the air transport. Means
They have removed what I was writing.
I will send you the work later for you to write.
Teacher.
I will send you the work, please. Yes.
But I've not finished writing.
I will send you that work later. After the lesson, I will send the work.
I'm not finished writing.
I will send that work, please.
Okay.
Okay. And so we have the means of transport.
Okay. Yes, how many steps do I need? How many steps do I need?
Please, Malaika, unmute your microphone.
Yes.
Unmute your microphone.
Another word for this. Yes.
We are now discussing the means of air transport. Who can tell us this means of air transport? What do people use to travel in air? These are the ones, or these are the things that we call means of air transport. What do people use to travel in air, to move in air, to move with their goods in air from one place to another? Take, for example, from Uganda to Kenya, from Kenya to USA, from here up to Germany, like that. So let me give this chance to, there are people who have raised their hands, there are many, but let me start with the Darlene. Yes, Darlene, you can tell us one means of transport.
An aeroplane.
Come again?
Aeroplane.
Good, aeroplane. Elton?
Airplane.
Elton is also telling us aeroplane. We have Naomi. You can also tell us one.
Helicopter.
Good. Nachirija, you can tell us one.
Parachute, and aeroplane, and jet, and what? And helicopter.
Okay, good. She has told us about the jets, the parachutes, and then the helicopter, and so on and so on. So it's good that I don't know if you guys know, I've ever seen this different. I don't know if you've ever seen these different types of means of transport. If you have not seen, I think I need to still share my screen. If I can share my screen. If I can stop sharing and then I share so that you're able to see. Let me stop sharing and then I will share again so that those who have never seen these different means of transport will be able to see. You will be able to see. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Yes, teacher.
So which means of transport is this? You're seeing?
Air transport.
That one is a type of transport. We have been discussing the means of transport, and you mentioned this. You mentioned
Helicopter.
which good. This one is an helicopter. It is an helicopter. So that is what you need to know about that. We also have others like the parachutes. If I can scroll back, we shall be able. So which one is this we are seeing?
Aeroplane.
Good. This one is an aeroplane. Let's move on. We also need to look at another one. Which one is this?
Parachute.
No, the parachute is not like
Rocket.
this. This one is a rocket. This one is a rocket. This is how a rocket is. That is how the rocket. And then lastly, we have the parachute. This one is used to prevent someone from falling.
Parachute.
This one is used to prevent the person from falling down and dying. In case you fall off an aeroplane or an helicopter, you need to have the parachute so that you reduce the speed at which you reach the ground. So this is the parachute. Its work is to reduce the speed at which you're coming down, so that you come down slowly. You come down slowly, and then you won't get injured. Without the parachute, when you fall down, you will definitely die without the parachute. But if you have the parachute, it will be very, very easy. As simple as. So those are the different types of means of transport. There is a difference between a type of transport. When they say give the types of transport, please say water transport, railway transport, road transport, and then you also have which one have I talked about? Maybe road or what, or water, air, all those ones. Those are the types of transport. Then when they talk about means of air transport, you mention those machines that we use for air transport, or during that while using that type of transport. A means, which means do you use to move in air to take your goods from this place to the other? You can mention those parachute, you have the aeroplanes, the helicopters, the jets, all those ones. So those are the means of air transport. So that is it. I take you back to our work. I see someone's hand up. The means of transport. It's good that you guys have already mentioned them. The first one is the aeroplanes. The other is the parachutes.
Helicopter.
Have the
Helicopter.
helicopters. And then we have the rockets, among others. You can also add there the jets and so on. You can add there the jets.
Yes.
What is a jet? Teacher.
Okay. Yes, please. So these are the means of transport.
What is the teacher?
Yes, please.
Teacher.
Yes.
How does a teacher look like?
Yes. Maria, speak.
You've removed. What? You've disabled my video. How does it?
Come again.
Yes. You have discovered my video.
Just look like.
Please,
thought
let's
I'd be
move
done.
on. Let's move on. So these are the means of air transport. So let's move on. Let's move on to another thing.
Mommy, the phone is
Means
going
of
to go.
road transport. Can we listen?
Just show us
Means of
that.
road. Means of road transport.
Teacher, show us the rocket.
Is it near the charger?
There. We are now discussing of road transport. Means
where is the
of
charger?
road. What do we use
Let me come.
when moving the road? I have people here who have not said something. Let me give this chance to Martin. I see people who have started their videos. There is no need of a video here. Stefan and Malaika, you can put off your video and also keep your microphones mute so that we can move on systematically.
We use
Today,
cars and taxis.
I was giving this chance to Martin. Martin, please tell us one means of transport. What do you use? What do you use on the road to move?
Cars
from place to
and
place?
taxis.
Martin is not saying anything. I have Joan. Joanna has just joined us. You can say something. Anyone?
So it's my pencil.
Then even Stefan, you can also tell us one means of transport. Yes?
Choco.
Please. Start have you done?
You know the means of transport? Raise up your hand. If you know, give this chance to Kunihira. Kunihira, you can tell us one.
It's okay. They'll tell me. You see. Now they are going to give me later.
Kunihira,
Motorcycle.
good, correct. Mare, you
Taxis.
tell us one.
We use taxis, cars,
Taxis, correct.
and cars.
Another means of we have cars, and many
And bicycles.
others.
And motorcycles.
Motorcycles, bicycles,
And buses.
so all those ones are very correct. They are very correct. Those are the means of road transport. We have lorries or a lorry. You can sit here. This one, you use it to transport goods, luggages mostly. You have the lorry. You also have the foot. You can move using your foot, the legs. You can just move using your legs from this place to the other. And then you can also use the vans. Most of us who are in school, we may be using school vans to move from home to school, from back to back home. And then we have the bus. The bus, you can still use the bus from maybe school to home or from town to the village, like that. So these are the means of road transport. There are very many. We also have a bicycle. It is also a means road transport. Means of road transport. Means of road transport. Then you use air transport and railway transport. Those are tips. So let's get the difference difference. The means of road transport are means of transport and types of transport. Means of transport and types of transport. When they talk about means, it means you have to identify that very thing that is used in that transport. Like when they talk about road transport, you have to be able to mention lorry, foot, because people who walk, there are people who walk from one place to another, and those ones are called pedestrians. And when we continue, I think in the next coming lesson, we shall be discussing about pedestrians. We shall look at terms used in transport. And even pedestrians is one of them. So a person who walks on the road, that one is and we shall still be discussing that. I will ask you, what name is given to the person who walks on foot? So you will be in position to mention the name given to that person, and that person is called a pedestrian. So these are the different types, means of road transport. We also have animals. Animals, for example, and the camel. You've seen people using them for transport, moving from one place to another. Someone sits on a horse or camel, and then they move from this place to another. So when they ask you to mention the animals that are used for transport, please be able to mention the horse and then also the camel. As simple as that. The horse and the camel. So those ones, and also the donkey. Those ones are used for transport. And also not only transport, they are also used for pulling carts. In primary 6, they will teach you that, because you look at resources again. So they will teach you more about animals in their environment. So these are the means of road transport. We also discussed the types of transport, the means of air transport, and the transport itself. Itself. Maybe before we sum up, I would like someone to remind us what we said about transport. What is transport? I see some people's hands up. I don't know if they are ready to give us the answer.
Transport is the movement of people, goods, and service from one place to another.
That's the Faith. Another person can repeat the same answer.
Transport is movement of people, goods, and services from one place to another.
Correct. Another person. I see.
Transport, the movement of people, goods from and services from one place to another.
From one place to another. We have Naomi. Naomi's hand is up.
Transport is a movement of people or goods from one place to another.
Good. Let's move to the types of transport. Faster. Those who are going to, you just raise up your hand, then I will pick you. Types of transport. Types of transport.
Water transport, railway transport, and road transport.
I had
And
asked you
air transport.
at least you would have said one. You have said all of them. Thank you, Faith. But at least next time, wait for instructions.
Teacher.
Yes, please.
I have an answer.
Yes,
I have an answer.
you can give.
Air transport, Rail transport or road transport?
Correct. He has also said
correct.
Air transport, road transport, rail transport, and so on. So that is what
Water transport.
That's what we talked about. Let's also move on and look at briefly. We are summarizing. Let's look at the means of air transport. By show of hands, when I ask you, you mention only one so that other people will also say something. Let me hear from Florence.
Rockets, parachutes, and helicopters and aeroplanes.
That is a faith. Faith does not wait. Okay. So let's move on to another person. She has mentioned everything. Yes?
Teacher.
Yes?
Hello. I have an answer. I have an answer.
Yes, Malaika?
I have an answer.
Speak.
Rocket, aeroplane. Sorry, teacher, it is my sibling.
Okay?
Rocket and aeroplane.
Please, we have already.
Helicopter.
Stefan, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have already mentioned the means of air transport. We have talked about the aeroplanes, the helicopters, the parachutes, the rockets, the jets, all of them. Thank you so much for mentioning them. We have also talked about the means of road transport, and we have just mentioned them. I wish you could wait for me to give you a chance to speak. It would be very, very nice. You're going to, yeah, it would be very, very nice. So please be waiting for me to ask you to speak. Let me give this chance to Lena. Can you tell us one means of road transport?
Bicycles.
Bicycle, good. Malaika, give one. Let me have Kunihira. Kunihira. Naomi. Come again. Kunihira, you were saying something? Come again.
Transport.
I can't hear you very well, but you were saying something. We are looking at the means of road. Naomi, can you give us one? Oh, it is Naomi, the same person who said. Elton, can you give us one? One means of road transport. We have just discussed this.
Vans.
Come again?
Vans.
Vans, correct? Darlene? Darlene, can you tell us?
Animals.
Yeah, I have heard from Stefan, from Darlene, Elton, another person who has not said that.
And camel.
As simple as that. So those are the these are the means of road transport.
And more and camel.
As simple as that. So this is what we are talking about. So this is what we intended to look at today. And next time when we meet, we shall be discussing more about the water transport and the railway transport when we meet next time. In primary 3, we shall look at the advantages of each type of transport, the goodnesses, how each type of transport is good, We shall look at that in primary 3. But here, we're just going to only talk about the types of transport, then means of transport. Then in primary 2, in primary 3, we shall look at their advantages. As simple as that. So this program is being provided to you by Yaaka Digital Learning Network. It offers very many services. There is what we call online classes, like what we are having, where a teacher is able to discuss with learners. When, you can access the content in the site if you subscribe, and the subscription fee is this that you can see on my screen. It is 500,000. If you want to download all subjects for primary, all subjects per class in primary is just 30,000. Can download, then your child can study at home alone. But if you want the child to have access to discuss with the teacher, then it means that 500 for the whole year. Then the child can be promoted to the next class. If not, we also have services in Educare, and these are the services categorized in 4 categories. The bronze, 20,000 per month. You access the work. Silver, 50,000, 3 months. Gold, half a year, 70,000. And then you have the annually, you can pay 100,000. Then you start alone. No teacher, you can be studying at home, anywhere, as long as you have your computer and or smartphone or tablet. You can access the work in the website. Thank you so much. I still remain Teacher Ben. Thank you so much for attending. But next time, let's make sure that we follow.
Bye, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you,
Thank you.
teacher, for teaching us.
Thank you so much. So next time, we need to follow instructions so that everyone will benefit. If we don't follow the instructions, it means that other people will not benefit. So let's make sure that we follow.
Teacher,